We have a massive report. The Knicks are currently showing trade interest in Memphis Grizzlies guard Marcus Smart. We're going to break down all these latest reports and so much more today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. And make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. The Knicks are interested in trading for Marcus Smart. I have no idea where this report came from, but I hope it goes away just as fast as it's come here, because I do not want the Knicks to trade for Marcus Smart, trade for another guard. When I first saw these reports, I was shocked. I could not believe that out of all the players the Knicks could be linked to, we are linked to another guard, a guard who's been injured over the last few years in Marcus Smart. I'm not sure why the Knicks are targeting him. I can only hope and pray they're doing this to put pressure on another team they really want to make a trade for. But at this point in time, all the reports are coming out that the Knicks are showing significant interest in trying to trade for Memphis Grizzlies star Marcus Smart. Shout out to NBA insider Chris Persiani for giving us the following information. According to him, the New York Knicks have had internal discussions about a potential deal for Marcus Smart, per sources familiar with the situation. The New York Knicks has had rumored interest in Smart before. No deal is imminent, but several sources indicated that the Knicks are willing to be active on the market right now. Shout out to Chris Persiani for giving us the following updates about the Knicks and their trade interest in Marcus Smart. Now, I understand they are active right now on the trade market. They are looking to trade Mitchell Robinson for another significant piece they can add to this team. The only problem is Robinson's value is near the floor, because if you didn't know, he's going to be out rehabbing that ankle until likely 2025. But that's an estimated date. It's not a guarantee. He could potentially miss more time. Going out there on the trade market and trying to trade somebody like Robinson is a very difficult task, because you have to sell a team what he can do when he's healthy, and you have to bypass the fact that he's not going to be healthy or ready to play till January 2025. Extremely hard to sell. The only way you could potentially trade Mitch and get another impactful player back is if you add another piece to this deal that other teams do want, do like, that teams desire on their team. And the Knicks don't have a lot of players on their roster right now that they're comfortable with giving up with Mitchell Robinson. But if you look at the roster, if push comes to shove, there is one player that is likely going to be shipped out with Mitchell Robinson if asked for. And that's going to be Deuce McBride. Not because the Knicks want to trade Deuce McBride, only because if the Knicks really want a player and Deuce is the selling point of it all, they have enough guards on this team if they want to replace Deuce McBride. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy replacement, but they can do it given the number of guards already on this roster. Going back to this report again, Persiani did note that the Knicks have had rumored interest in Smart before. Even though no deal is imminent right now, it is something to note that the Knicks are showing interest in all of these players. And I'm not sure why Marcus Smart is on the list, because I think everybody knows if you're going to be trading for a player like Marcus Smart, you're going to absolutely need to include a player like Deuce in that deal. And right now, given the age of Marcus Smart, given the injury history, I don't know if I would make a deal to trade Deuce McBride, Mitchell Robinson, potentially other players to land a guy like Marcus Smart right now. In my opinion, the Knicks do not need to make this move. We do not need guards. We have enough guards. We are not lacking in that department. Where we are lacking is in the size department. We need more size on this team. We need more centers on this team. So if the Knicks are going to go out and target any player, it cannot be another guard. It cannot be Marcus Smart. It needs to be a player of impact that we can actually utilize on this team. And look at the roster. Cat, Achua, and Sims. Maybe you can give some credit to Ariel Huckaporty, but that's really it. Now, if you want to stretch some of our fours and play them at fives, then maybe you can increase the number of quote-unquote centers you have on your roster. But stretching your fours to be fives is not a way to be successful in this league, because if you play players out of position, what does it increase? The chances of injury. And the Knicks do not need that, especially during this season when they're going to be on the run for a championship. We need everything to go right, which means we need to make the right trades, the right moves. Trading for Marcus Smart would hurt our team more than it would help us, and it would ruin the chemistry that we already have in training camp. We already ruined a lot of it trading Randall, trading Dante, and having a new piece in Mikal Bridges and Karl Anthony Towns on this team. That takes a long time to implement, learn how they play, learn their chemistry, where they like the ball, all of these factors. And now you're adding more to it if you add a player like Marcus Smart to the roster. Not to mention that if the Knicks entertain this, this is a potential trade package for the Knicks to land Marcus Smart. Shout out to my guy, Pastor Claudio, on the app X for giving us the potential trade package the Knicks could use to land Smart. In this potential trade package, the Knicks would land Marcus Smart and GG Jackson. GG Jackson gives you a little bit of size, and he doesn't cost as much. But as you can see there, $20.2 million owed to Marcus Smart. For the Grizzlies, in this trade, they would get Mitchell Robinson, Miles McBride, Tyler Kolek, and Pacome Dadier. There's a lot of languages in the world. I don't know all of them, but if I did, I would tell you in as many languages the way to say no as possible, because there is no way on this planet I am ever doing this trade. This is a horrible trade, terrible trade, one of the worst trades the Knicks can make. I am hoping and praying once again that the only reason we are seeing trades like this, the only reason we are seeing reports like this is because the Knicks really want another center on this team. They really want another player on this roster. But the team that they're talking with right now are not budging in terms of their asking price. So what are the Knicks doing? They're looking around the league, looking at other players they could potentially target, and in doing so, putting pressure on the team they really want to trade with. I think that's exactly what Leon Rose and this Knicks front office is doing. And credit to them if that's what they're doing. But couldn't they pick another player, a better player than Marcus Smart? I get it. I understand it. They have interest in him for a while, going back to his Boston years. But he's not in Boston anymore. He's far and away not even the same player he used to be when he was with Boston. He's a little bit more injury prone in this stage of his career. Not a good move at all for the Knicks if they went after Smart. The better move right now, if he's available and on the table, is Trey Murphy III. If you're going after any young player or a player that you can believe in that can help you for now and in the future, there is nobody better than Trey Murphy III. 6'8", young, defensive-minded, can shoot, and would thrive under head coach Tom Thibodeau. He makes less than Marcus Smart. He wouldn't have to cost you all of these players like an extra Tyler Kolek, like an extra Pacome Dadier. In a trade for Murphy, you'll likely lose McBride and you'll lose Mitchell Robinson. Now, losing McBride in that package will hurt a lot, but getting a player back like Trey Murphy would help me lessen the blow of losing a player like Miles McBride. I don't want to lose Deuce. I don't want to trade Deuce. I don't think the Knicks even want to trade Deuce. But if you're going to get some of the best players, rising stars in this league to come to this roster, you're going to need to pay to play. And you cannot just trade Mitchell Robinson to get Trey Murphy, because Mitchell Robinson has no trade value. Nobody wants him. The only reason people would want him is if they're accepting him and his very good contract with another player that they really want. And the only other player that the Knicks might be comfortable in giving up in a trade is Deuce McBride. The only reason for that comfort is because they have so many guards on the roster. So if they lose Deuce, it's very easy to go to every single guard you have on this roster and pick and choose from one of them and have them replace the time that McBride was going to play. But either way, the Knicks could do that if they chose to make a deal for Trey Murphy III or anybody else who had size in this league and can come to this roster to make an impact. Because right now, we don't need guards. We need centers. We need legit centers over 6'8" who have size and experience playing in this league. If the Knicks can find one of those players, and he's a very good player, has a great impact, and can be with this roster for years to come, Mitchell Robinson is gone, and whoever that player is, he's coming on the Knicks. Best believe Leon Rose and this Knicks front office, they have been trying ever since the offseason started maybe even after losing Isaiah Hartenstein. They started since then trying to upgrade at the center position and trading for a more impactful player. Now, obviously, they traded for Karl Anthony Towns, and he can play 5, but he doesn't like to play 5. He's more of a 4. If that's the case, you want a 5 to pair next to Karl Anthony Towns. Basically, exactly what they did with him in the Timberwolves, pairing him with Rudy Gobert. Now, hopefully, you can do that with a big who doesn't make that much money, and you won't have to gut your team in order to trade for that player. But the Knicks do need to make another move here, and it looks like that's exactly what they're planning to do. This Marcus Smart report is smoke, and that's exactly what I'm going to call it. All it is a smokescreen to play other teams and make them believe that the Knicks are going after all of these other players, when in reality, they have their sights set on one player, and they're waiting for the team that they're really speaking to see all these reports budge, lower their asking price, so that way the Knicks get the exact player that they really want. We don't know exactly who that player is. I'm sure we're going to get more and more reports about it as the days come out. But as of right now, the reports are coming out that the Knicks are interested in Marcus Smart. And if they make that trade and add Smart to this team, it would be one of the worst trades in franchise history. Because not only do we not need a player like Marcus Smart, if we did end up trading him, this is likely what the trade package would look like. And if the Knicks gave up all of this for a player like Marcus Smart, they've already failed. This is not the move to make. This was never the move to make. The only reason, in my opinion, this report even exists is because I believe the Knicks and Leon Rose are playing chess, not checkers. And sometimes when you're playing chess, you're making moves that really don't look right, that don't add up right away. But if you wait a couple of moves later, you can see why they made that move in the first place. This report is one of those chess moves by the Don, Leon Rose, and I can't wait to see what it leads to. But what about you guys? What do you think about these following reports coming out indicating that the Knicks have actual trade interest in trying to acquire Marcus Smart? Let me know in the comments section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knick fans. Peace.